Then I'm going to start the PowerPoint and I'll put it on presentation mode. Hi, everyone. It's so great to be able to hold this presentation, even during this stay-at-home time period. And we're also really looking forward to meeting all of you in person this fall when everything comes back to more normal. So I'm Dr. Katherine Powers. I'm the director of the School of Music, and with me here is Dr. Nicole Baker. She's a member of our faculty, and she also serves as the undergraduate admissions coordinator. And we have a 15, 20-minute presentation, and then we'll have time for Q&A, plenty of time. What you could do would be to type your questions as they come along, and then we will work with them at the end of our presentation. In the meantime, if you have any questions, urgent questions about technology, I believe if you type them, our technologist, Mike August, can see them and work with them. By the way, so I'm the director of the School of Music. We also have 22 full-time faculty members, of which Nicole Baker, Dr. Baker, is one. And amongst the full-time faculty, we have directors of the choir, of jazz ensemble, of bands, orchestra. We also have full-time faculty in each area who teach applied one-on-one performance classes, and we have full-time faculty in pedagogy, music education, music history, and music theory. And then beyond that, we have 50 part-time faculty to round out the instruction in all the instruments, from everywhere from classical guitar to harp to jazz rhythm section, oboe, bassoon, horn, tuba, trombone, sax, et cetera, organ, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I have one slide here which is intended just to be comforting and encouraging of why Cal State Fullerton School of Music is really top pick for our incoming students. The information on the left column comes from the Cal State website, calstate.edu. Cal State website. This is the Chancellor's Office website of the 23 campuses in the California State University system. And this information comes from that website, as well as from our Cal State Fullerton President's Office website. And you can see some national studies there. The statistics there, Duke University, et cetera, really show and demonstrate that Cal State Fullerton and School of Music bring together a very high quality education for all students, no matter background or training or educational background, and for a very low cost. The second one on the left, Duke University study. So a professor at Duke University several years ago wondered to himself and his team, research team, if a state university would have a lower quality education, and he found that no. Cal State Fullerton have amongst the highest quality standard of education, rigorous education, thorough education, despite that it is despite that it's a state university. So you don't get a better education from private university. Then number two, in graduating underrepresented students, students who come from what we call first generation households, where they're the first person to go to college in their family. Top 3% best value, that is from Forbes magazine and Money magazine. Then on the right column, 100% job placement from credential students. Performance majors, we have award-winning concert band, wind symphony choirs who tour, who perform with big names like John Williams, Andrea Botticelli. They sing, play at the Hollywood Bowl. But despite all that really high standard, we have a supportive kind of family atmosphere. We have small music classes, and the students interact with regular mentoring and advising. Okay, I've lost control, so I cannot move my PowerPoint forward, my friends. So is somebody going to help me out?
Sure.
Thank you. Here we go. Okay, I'm hitting the forward button and we're not going anywhere. Jason, Mike?
I'm looking at it. Is it Nicole sharing the
Now
the PowerPoint?
the other one wasn't sharing, so I have shared my PowerPoint.
Nicole, I was sharing. So, okay, do you want to flip the screen for me?
Katherine, yours is not sharing. It's just showing your camera.
So I'm happy to share mine.
I'm happy to share mine again. It's the latest version.
If you want, I can share the latest version. I have it up and ready to go.
Okay, go ahead.
Alrighty. So I'm going to exit out of this. Hang on. Hi, everyone. We're going to just have a moment to get this get this going. And there we go. Can you see that now? Is that sharing?
Yes, go ahead and advance to the next slide, I think. There we go. So Dr. Powers, if you, when you want the next slide, if you say next slide, then Dr. Baker could advance it for you.
For whatever reason, Nicole, I'm not seeing what you're sharing.
It's on Facebook.
She's got the slide with the lead and learn at the bottom of it.
Okay, fine, great. Okay, we'll go on from here then. Now what we want to do is spend several slides giving you an idea of what the curriculum is like and what student learning is like and what music majors, what their daily rhythm is like. So first of all, we look quickly at the curriculum. So in other words, the courses that students take. So on the left column, you see the types of courses, obviously how music is put together, constructed, or the aesthetics of music, composition history, once again, the purpose of music, how it works. Those are important classes. And then music's performance, becoming a better musician, pedagogy and applied course, concentration courses, or specialty courses. So this is basically the types of courses that the students take throughout the four-year undergraduate curriculum. And then on the right column, you have ideas of how the students are guided through the curriculum, the advising that they have, course lists, roadmaps, and really importantly is that they advise every semester with a faculty advisor. Okay, next slide. And here we see multiple layers of support for a music student. These are the important faculty for each music student. Every music major has a faculty advisor. They also have an applied instructor, which is their private teacher, where they meet one-on-one each week with their applied instructor for a private lesson. So this person, of course, is very important in helping the student learn, develop, and grow as a musician. And then the major performance ensemble director is also a very important person in the student's life. Every music student is in a major performance ensemble, and they interact with the director at least once, twice a week. And by major performance ensemble, I mean choir, band, orchestra, jazz ensemble, opera, etc. Okay, next slide. Okay, so rhythm of a student's daily life. So in the mornings is when we have our music theory classes, music history classes, and where the specialization courses are, like pedagogy courses or music literature courses. Specialization meaning that music majors tend to pick a concentration or specialization. So music ed students would be like instrumental music ed, or they could be choral music ed, or performance would be like keyboard, meaning piano performance, or it would be string performance on a string instrument, violin, for example. So those are the specializations. Now in the afternoons, it's all coordinated where we have the major performance ensembles meet in the afternoons and very early evenings. And then students could take their GE classes, their general education classes, during the afternoons as well. Obviously, throughout the day, there are plenty of chances to practice. We have up on the 3rd floor of the music building, we have 40 practice rooms up there, private, smallish rooms where students can go and practice by themselves and, and learn and study. Plus, we have we have the Machowski Resource Center, which is a great study lab in the music building. And we are, by the way, right next to the library. So there's that chance to go over there and to study as well. Okay, next slide. So Cal State Fullerton opportunities for music students. So these include what we call school music cheap tickets. So the students have an ID card, so they're identified as a music major, and using that card and their identity, then they can get low cost tickets for performances. We also have merit-based and scholarships that are university-wide or college-wide or music department-wide, School of Music. So students would apply for those by March 1. They're annual every year, and it's possible to earn more money through those scholarships. Then we have plenty of other kinds of performance opportunities. For example, on Tuesdays, most Tuesdays this semester, we have a recital series, and students can sign up and play, perform their music that they're studying. They can participate in small ensembles, quartets, quintets. And another opportunity is, say, to work on campus, work in the College of Arts, or work in the School of Music. And plenty of opportunities there. And we have a fabulous, robust, very active social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, run by Jason Pano, who is our full-time social media guy in the College of the Arts. And that communication helps students stick together. They help understand what's going on. They help hear about opportunities. So that's a really great tool for us. Okay, next slide. So more opportunities are found in clubs and service fraternities. So clubs, service fraternities, these are places for students to get together, to talk, network, learn from each other, have what we have recognized in higher education is that when students feel that they're part of something, so they're in a club, they've got good friends, they're more apt to enjoy what they're doing, to be successful at school, to get a lot out of the school. So the music clubs, for example, Saxophone Alliance, Clarinet Concert Club, Titan Brass Club, and musicology, and many I didn't fit on this slide, plus our service fraternities and clubs like the American Choral Directors Association, the National Association for Music Education, plus the service fraternities, Phi Mu Alpha, Sigma Alpha Iota, Mu Phi Epsilon. These are fraternities with a focus on service. So they perform actually quite a bit of help for us in the School of Music by helping to organize music festivals for bands, choirs, etc. They help with new student orientations. And through that, it's an experiential learning experience where they actually learn a lot about organization and about higher education, etc. So great opportunities for students. Next slide. More resources for students. Our Student Success Center for the College of the Arts, a room where they can study, ask questions, network, apply for scholarships, get assistance from the assistant dean, etc. The Writing Center will help with writing, academic writing. The University Learning Center helps especially with GE classes. Then there's an Academic Advising Center for GE advising. Titan Student Union has food, plenty of food to eat, and other opportunities there. And Tuffy's Basic Needs was established several years ago, and it helps students when they're in financial crunch with lots of different things. A little bit of food maybe, or some support or advice, or toiletries, or actually even clothing for an interview if it's needed. Okay, next slide.
All right.
Hey, Nicole.
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm answering a quick question. Okay. Uh-oh. Next, there we go. Oops, sorry. There we go. Is that, here we go.
That's you.
Okay, great. And I'm actually going to answer a question that came over. First of all, let's go through the different deadlines, and these are pretty hard. So in other words, hard and fast, especially as we get toward the bottom of the page. You're going to be finding out over the course, if you haven't found out already, whether or not you've been admitted to the university. If you've been admitted by us, most of you have been, I would assume, and you should be in touch with me if you have any issues in terms of admissions. The second thing is we're going to hopefully, as of yesterday, some of you are going to be starting to get your notifications of awards from the financial aid office. Now, here are the hard and fast deadlines. By May 1st, you need to do two things. First of all, you need to accept admission from both the university. So you say to them, yes, I am coming. And also you should send in an email as well to the area coordinator who accepted you saying, I'm coming. And then you also on May 1st will need to sign up for your orientation. It's been slightly delayed this year because of the COVID-19 crisis, but my understanding is that you are now able to sign up for your orientation and transfer students as well as incoming freshmen. And also that is your deadline for you to accept your music scholarship offer if you get one. And so May 1st is your deadline to file, to say, yes, I am coming, and I sign up for my orientation, and I accept my offer. Now, the other deadline that is hard and fast is by July 15th, your high school or your community college will have to send over your final transcripts. So that's the most important thing to know at this point. And I want to answer one question that has come over several times already. Pre-music, what is that? All music majors apply as what we call pre-music, and whether you get converted over from pre-music to music major or not depends on if you passed your audition. If you passed your audition down the line, we will convert you to a music major. If you did not pass your audition, you will need to change your major. If you're an incoming freshman, you can change it to undeclared or something else. If you are a transfer, you will need to change it to something else. Now, one more thing. Let's say you auditioned, it didn't go so well, but you want to try again. You will have an opportunity to audition in October, and you should contact me for more information about that. So, and we welcome you to join one of our ensembles, etc. So that's what the pre-music is. Don't worry if you are trying to register for classes at this point. The pre-music thing will get in the way. We will fix that ASAP. So there you go. Next, should I go to the next one?
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Powers.
Yes.
This is the summer activities slide.
Right. Oh, I thought you were going to do this one. So
I can do that as well. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So over the summer, here's what you get to do. You get to take a deep breath. You're done with one of the hardest parts of your young lives, which is the transition to college. So first of all, you will have a new student orientation that you will have signed up for by May 1st. And I'm going to just say one more time, you have to sign up. If you don't, they might rescind your admissions over at the admissions office. So you have to sign up. And every year we have to clean that mess up. Don't go there. Sign up for your orientation. Everyone has to go through it. Some will have the option to do it online, but that's only for transfers at this point. So you must sign up for an orientation. The second thing is toward the end of the summer, you will have placement tests for theory and piano classes. Everybody gets group piano lessons and theory. So you will have placement tests. You will get more information as to the timing of that. Right before school begins, you have a new student day for all music majors. And it's always been the Thursday before school begins. And during that time or in the first week of classes, you will have placement auditions for your major performing ensembles. We have 2 major performing ensembles for concert band. We have orchestra. We also have another band as well called University Band. We have 4 terrific choirs. And so your auditions will be for one of those depending on what you want to do. Question: if you play in the orchestra, can I also audition for a choir? Sure. And a lot of people who actually sing in our choirs will often play in the university band. Especially if you're a music education major, you get to study all sorts of different instruments. So it's a great way to do this, to practice and sharpen your chops. So you will have placement auditions for your major performance ensembles. Voice majors will also sing for placement with their teachers on the Thursday before school begins. So make sure you're available for your new student orientation, and make sure you're available for that all-important Thursday before school begins. And Dr. Powers, any final parting thoughts?
No, are there any questions? What kinds of questions do you have?
Okay, let's open them up. So transfer students, somebody asked about transfer students having to submit their high school transcripts. I believe you've already done that in order to get in. As I look on WebAdmit, I see an awful lot of your transcripts already. No, the final transcripts are for your community college. Can you audition for choirs if you're not enrolled in music yet? Oh, you bet. Yeah.
Let me add something, that anybody who is currently in school right now,
sure.
You know, you're going to have grades at the end of the semester, like if you're in high school or in a community college. So what the school wants, the Cal State Fullerton admissions office, they want those transcripts from this semester, and they want them as soon as you can. So this July 15th submit finals transcripts, that's what that's talking about.
Right, and you have to do it. And of course, it always pertains to especially the current semester. And as somebody who has memorized many of your transcripts, I do have to say a lot of you haven't even gotten your fall transcripts in. So do get those in ASAP. If some of you are waiting to hear from the university as to whether or not you've gotten in, that might be the problem. I have got a question here. Can you audition for choirs if you're not enrolled in music yet? Yes, of course you can. And may I turn this over to Jason Pano, one of our marketing folks and a master's in choral music. Hi, Jason.
Sorry. Well, now alum, right?
Now alum, yes.
On the new student orientation day, which is I believe the Thursday before school starts, usually, or Friday, one of those days, when you come in to do that orientation, you'll go through your vocal audition and hopefully a audition for the choirs. If that's not the case, like you're an instrumentalist or something like that, and you still would like to try out for one of the ensembles, within the first week of school, you just need to show up to one of the classes and audition for Dr. Eistad or Dr. Peterson there, and they'll figure out which choir you should be placed in based off of your audition. So yes, you can audition for choirs whether or not you're enrolled yet. And the 4 ensembles, being University Singers is our top flagship ensemble, with concert choir feeding into that, which is our large mixed choir. And then our 2 beginning or open Y'all Come and Sing choirs. I have to remember because we just changed the names of the Sing Titans is our I want to say men's chorus, but that's not what it is. The Singing Titans. Yeah, there you go. And that's right. Singing Titans Singing Titans is the men's chorus, and the Titan Voices is the women's chorus. So, but you'll have to double check the schedule to make sure that those ensemble classes do not conflict with some of your other classes.
In several of these questions, I'm looking through the different questions about audition pieces. For most of the choirs, Jason, can you answer Somebody asked, if I were to audition for a choir, what type of pieces or how many pieces should be prepared? And is there an accompanist available? Could you talk a little bit about how the auditions work?
The auditions, you do not need to bring a piece. Usually what is in the actual audition is they'll voice you up and down just to see your vocal range, and they'll test a little bit of rhythmic sight reading and tonal sight reading. You don't have to actually bring a piece. They just want to see what you can do, and based off the skills that you provide in that audition, they'll place you into the appropriate choir.
And one thing I want to add to this is for your auditions for your major ensembles, you should check out the ensembles page of our website. If you have specific questions, any of the ensemble directors would be very, very happy to answer that. And so you can, Dr. Eistad is our choral, I'm blanking here, our choral coordinator. I know there's a better word for that. And Dr. Barr is the conductor of our concert band, and Professor Furumoto is the director of our orchestra. There is a question I am actually going to turn over to Dr. Powers about audition scholarships and where we are in that process at this point.
All right, so students have been, those students who had a very high quality audition were offered scholarships in various emails in February, maybe early March came a few. The deadline to accept is May 1 for those scholarships. If you have any particular questions about your scholarship, or you should direct it to the area coordinator, faculty member you've been in contact with. And if you're not sure who that is, you could direct it to Dr. Nicole Baker or to myself. Now let's give our email addresses. So my email address is kpowers@fullerton.edu. So first initial, last name, kpowers@fullerton.edu. And Dr. Baker's is nbaker@fullerton.edu.
A couple of questions about orientation. See, this is just today, the website got changed, and orientation for all students will be online this summer. So here we are. So there we are. So we'll stay tuned. Please visit the orientation website, and we will also contact you with further details down the line. Several of you have asked about next semester. Will it be online or in person? We are planning for in person. Online is sitting there lurking in the back, just like it is for every school in the country. But we are moving ahead as though it is in person. Again, I've gotten another question about pre-music. Don't worry, the pre-music thing is a technical issue. We will take care of it down the line, probably around May 1st or around that general time. You will get that designation changed over. I'm going through all you have some great questions. There is a process for applying to get a merit-based scholarship. And that will be, if you go onto the College of the Arts website, and there are scholarships that you apply for once a year. The deadline's usually in March. And those are scholarships, you get them through the university, you get them through the College of the Arts, and you also get them through the School of Music itself. And I have to say that I know the person who asked that question quite well. And I'm hoping that person also applied for a President's Scholarship, which is still in the hopper. And if you want to email me privately about that, that's fine. Jason would also like to answer this question.
Sorry, I was dealing with, I was pasting questions from Facebook. What was the question again? Sorry.
What is the process for applying to get a merit-based scholarship?
Your audition was your merit-based scholarship, and then every single year there are merit-based scholarships based off of faculty recommendation, every single year. At the end of the year, I believe we're doing our convocation virtually this year in May, and you'll be finding out about scholarships that are awarded for the next academic year during that time.
Somebody asked if for the October audition, do I have to email Dr. Baker? Yes, I'm going to put in the feed my email, and yes, you email me basically with any questions. But yes, about the October audition, yes. Is there audition material for the instrumental audition? I'm not quite sure what that means. If you want to email me privately, if you're talking about the ensembles, go on our website for the, there are specific questions, requirements in there. But if you want to email me privately and clarify that, that's fine. Can you take music classes such as theory, history, or voice classes if you're not in the music program? That's a big, it depends on if there's room. If there's, we have to give priority, and I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Powers.
Before you say that the theory, history classes are usually pretty impacted. They're saved for music majors. However, music minors can take them. So if you declare music minor, or anybody who declares music minor, then can take the theory and history classes.
And there is Music 101, which is a theory class for non-majors, actually. And there's lots of great literature classes for non-majors, rock music, jazz history, all those things. They're terrific. A couple of people, and I'm going to answer you all the same because you all have the same question. I play guitar. I play piano. Do I have to be in a major ensemble? Yes, you do. And you can either play, one of the things that a lot of pianists do, and it's really important as pianists and guitarists, for the lyricism in your playing, is to sign up for a choral ensemble. And there are plenty of opportunities for that. There's Titan Voices, there is the Singing Titans, and also we have a lot of piano and other majors also in concert choir. And also, if you want to play a secondary instrument in one of the bands as well. Also, occasionally we use guitar in our orchestra as well, and you should be in touch. But you should work with the guitar folks. You should definitely work with Professor Masters on that. We've got.
Can I answer,
sure,
Nicole?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. There was a question about the President's Scholarship results. So I've been in contact with the director of that particular program. Unfortunately, like many things, it got a little bit behind, but they say that they will have the results well before May 1, so they have a few days left. You should watch your email, especially your campus email. It's always a good idea to watch your campus email carefully every day. I heard that they normally do an interview, so I suppose that might do that by phone or Zoom or something like that. So I hope that helps. Then another question here about GE for performance student. Actually, our general education package at the Cal State Fullerton, every Cal State has its a general education list of courses, or package they call it. It's almost the same from Cal State to Cal State to Cal State because it's governed by the Chancellor's office. And anyway, in any case, the general education package list of courses is the same regardless of major. There may be one difference where you can take a film music class as a performance major, as a music major, but it's pretty much exactly the same list of courses or packaging as any major around Cal State Fullerton. Then there was one more, excuse me, sorry, Nicole.
Yeah.
Let's see which one it was. I think it was the pre-major. Let me just say again, as Dr. Baker said, the pre-music is a status which is transitory. So every potential music major who applies for music through the Cal State Apply system in fall, they're put into a pre-music status. And that is because everyone has to audition to be a music major. This is true throughout the entire Cal State system, right? You have to audition to be a music major. So we put, everybody goes into this transitory status. Then at this moment here in April, we begin to move everybody into the major you really wanted. And we have that information from you already. During when you did your audition, we received your information. What major did you want? Did you want music ed? Did you want music performance? You know, which area, jazz, keyboard, etc. So we have that information from you. However, if you have any concerns about that, feel free to email me. Let me know what your concern is. Or maybe you want to switch. Maybe you think you wrote music ed, but you're interested in something else, you know, just go ahead and email me. And once again, my email is kpowers@fullerton.edu.
I'm going to answer a quick question, then turn it back over to Dr. Powers for another question. Is there separate on-campus housing specifically for music majors? Not for music majors, but there is for arts majors. And it's in, Jason, you've addressed that a bunch of times in the parents' meetings. Do you, have you ever known anybody who's lived there?
Yeah, a few. I believe that deadline has passed, but there is an arts floor which is dedicated to, usually they'll pick several students or several freshmen specifically from each area that is interested, and they'll all be housed on that floor. I don't quite remember which building that's in, but many of the students that are in that program usually become good friends and usually move out the following semester and get their own dorm together.
Dr. Powers has noted that she would like to answer the question, is there a second audition after you passed your first audition to determine what band you are accepted into? I think we've already kind of answered that, but go ahead.
We did that. And the answer is pretty much yes. It's a different type of audition. The band's orchestra all do it online, choir, they need to do it live, and it's done a couple days before school starts. It's really a placement. So they're gonna hear voice, placement and stuff. So they have this, you know, basically a placement audition. Sorry.
And as somebody said, I was admitted to the school, but not the music program. And I do want to encourage, Dr. Powers has already answered that, but I do want to encourage you to contact me about possibly scheduling an audition in October. The second weekend of October, we have auditions for spring. And in the meantime, I think this is really important. Keep your chops up. Audition for our bands if you're an instrumentalist, or audition for a choir, absolutely, and sing with us. Keep your chops up. The other thing is it's really nice to be known, to get yourself known in the department as well. So we do welcome your participation in our ensembles. I think we may have answered all the questions. Did we do that?
There's one from Facebook that we didn't get to answer.
Oh no, and there also is another one. I'm going to answer a couple more before I do that. How does an upper division transfer graduate student graduate in a timely manner? Well, that's a great question. First of all, you pass all your classes. Second of all, you will work throughout your time with an advisor, and if you mention that to your advisor, I mean, it is our goal to get you out in a timely manner. So work with your advisor. And one thing I want to stress from Dr. Powers' presentation early on, one of the best things about Cal State Fullerton is that throughout the time you are here, you have advisement, and you have also a once a week check-in with your it's a lesson with your applied instructor. And that's a good place for you to stay in touch with what's going on. Also, one of the things that I think is the best thing about Cal State Fullerton is you get a tremendous amount of personal attention. And you can always walk up to any member of the faculty, or, you know, grab me in a hallway if I'm not seeing you in a class, and say, Dr. Baker, what do I do about this or that? Our goal is to get you through in a timely manner, especially, this is a pretty rigorous program. And we want to support you through that emotionally and academically. And so we need to make sure you do stay on track. And it's an important thing that is coming actually down from the CSU, that we want you out of here in a timely manner. So yeah, there are lots of great opportunities at Cal State Fullerton. It's easy to get distracted and want to do it all at once, but we will make sure that you stay successful, and we will help you come up with a proper study plan and curriculum. So there's that. Let me just see if there's anything more happening. Let's see. The audition in October is mainly, somebody's asking, is that a merit scholarship? The merit scholarships in turn that are based on your audition are generally given out in the spring. I want to re-amplify something that has been already said already. Throughout your time at Cal State Fullerton, you are eligible for scholarships throughout the time. And there's plenty, I mean, some of them range from just being, you know, the top clarinet player to, you know, it's their merit awards, and I always call them thank you awards. Thank you for being a good student. So there are awards throughout that time. The audition in October is generally a little bit, the process for signing up for that is not as complex. And I do have to mention that as well. That was a question. We do not have pre-screening for the audition October. In March, we process as many as 900 students. In October, we often process about 100. So it's a much easier and sort of simpler process, and you work directly with your area coordinator. Is that it?
No, I have one question that was not answered from Facebook. It's in the Zoom chat, but I don't think you guys saw it, but I'll put it up here. What can you do with a BA in music?
Wow. There are a million things one can do with a BA in music. It's not, granted, it's not the same as a Bachelor of Science in Engineering where you go straight into an engineering job. It's not vocational training, or like a BS in nursing is vocational training, and so is a BS in engineering. However, like so many of our degrees in the arts and the humanities, this is super good training. Employers around the country say that they would prefer to hire someone with a strong undergraduate degree, a degree that provides them with thinking out of the box, with ability to work under pressure, to think creatively, to write well, to have a solid foundation education like the BA in music. They would prefer to hire that person and then train them. So if we think about that kind of a career. Now, closer to music, you can work in music administration, teaching, yeah, education, yeah, performance, plenty of opportunities.
And I do have to remind everybody that BM in the music is a performance degree. BA is music education, music history and theory. The composition is a BM degree. But so if you are a BA in music ed, that's the appropriate degree for music ed. And that will prepare you for entry into the credential program.
I think there's a question here, which looks like I said I would answer live and I didn't. It's about COVID-19. I'll say that at this stage from the Chancellor's office, remember I said there were 23 Cal State University campuses in the Cal State system, and we have a Chancellor's office. And the Chancellor, his name is Timothy White, by the way, he's appointed by the Board of Trustees through the legislature. So he's really well connected to what's going on at the governor's office, as well as very well connected to all agencies like the CDC and the California State Health Department, et cetera. So constant connection, what's going on, what's going to happen. I'll say that no one really knows for sure what's going to happen in fall. Nobody. So everyone is guessing and trying to project ahead this way or that way. We have been told to prepare as if we don't know for sure. So we might have some classes online, we don't know. Yeah, so that's all I can say. I'm sorry at this point.
We are teaching now online, and it seems to be going pretty well. But we're all keeping our fingers crossed that
Somebody else asked how many freshman music students. I think, Nicole, correct me if I'm wrong, but a normal fall class would be, for freshmen would be what, 50? And frankly, none of us know what will happen here in fall. There's a couple of things that are being discussed on a national level in higher education. There is the thought that some universities across the country may lose enrollment, probably schools that are private or very expensive, or where students have to travel to get there. But I'll say at Cal State Fullerton, what I've been told from the admissions office is that locally we have more acceptances or a higher rate of acceptance right now here on April 18th than say in the last few years.
Yes.
And there is also this conversation that students will probably want to be more closer to home. So I think for the Cal State system, I think our enrollment will be good, will be solid, will be what would be appropriate for Cal State and for a school of music. I haven't heard anything otherwise. I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly how many freshman music students we're expecting in fall.
While I've been running this, we've had as few as 35 or 40. We do have a lot of transfers as well. And also, that was my first year doing this. Last year, I think we had almost 60, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Jason Pano would like to answer this question as well. Jason.
Okay.
Jason.
Sorry, I'm answering as many questions as I can. What was the question again?
How many freshman music students are you expecting this year? What do you think, Jason? You chimed in that you want to answer.
Thanks, Dr. Baker. I want to say there's probably around 50 every single year.
Yeah,
That's
I think so.
about what I observe based off of what comes in and what I observe from social media as well. So.
I'm going to do two questions, but I'm going to bring Dr. Powers in on one of this. Talk about double majoring within the department, within the School of Music. Is music composition available as a minor, and can it be done at the same time as a regular performance degree? And this is from one of our incoming guitarists.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. You're also performance. Okay. I started to type an answer. That is certainly possible, and we've had a number of students, including those in guitar performance, who have a strong interest in composition. Now, I would say if you're a freshman, or for anyone who's a freshman coming in, the first year or two will be providing a foundation for your study, lessons of guitar, ensembles, theory class, history, etc. So foundation. And then as things go, you'll see how composition could fit as a side interest to you. So there'll be time for that. If you're a transfer student, then what I would like to see is that we could have a conversation about that very soon. We can do it offline through email, or we could do it in summer. We can do it during orientation, whatever you like. And then, okay, the double major within music. Yes, we have quite a number of students who want to pursue a performance major. They're strong enough to pursue a performance major, but they're also thinking that eventually they would like to teach and teach in public school. So what they do is they take the curriculum of the performance major, and in their electives, they take the courses that are necessary before they enter the teaching credential. And some of them choose to enter the teaching credential now or later. So yes, that's absolutely a possibility, and it's a common one.
Right.
I'm told that, Nicole, that
yes, we're done.
We'll end this very soon. So I think maybe we have a few seconds for a wrap up, or let me just say, if anybody has any further questions, go ahead and email Nicole, Dr. Baker, or myself. We'll be happy to answer them. Or you can put them on Facebook, and they'll make their way to us, and we can answer them as well in that sense. And I just really want to thank everyone for joining us. It was great to hear your questions. It was great to meet you virtually in a small way. At 11 o'clock, we have another session that is the instrumental area. It'll be Dr. Barr, who is our band conductor, Professor Furamo, Komodo conducts the orchestra, plus several faculty members will all be there. And then at 12 o'clock, we have the core vocal area, including Dr. Eistad, Dr. Peterson, Dr. Goodrich, and several students, et cetera. So I hope you come back to us. It's a separate link, or you can join us on Facebook. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It's great to see all of you here.